Hi there, my name's Kerry Hill. I'm the Managing Director of Trinder Engineers. The type of work we do, we say that we don't do a lot in the marine industry and we don't do a lot for aircraft. Pretty much everything else, primary industry, we've probably been involved with later years. We're quite heavily involved. The whole deal around welding fume, back when I was doing my time, it was acknowledged that there was potential issues around welding fume, and that was a long time ago. So today we know that welding fume isn't good for you, and so we're looking for every, practical way to either reduce the fume, and then the next steps are, okay, how do we stop that fume spreading? We want to, as best we can, be pulling particles out of the air, but the best way that I see is actually to try and reduce the amount of particle that are actually getting into the air for a start. And that's why we've decided to start where we can, use the at-source fume extraction systems that are now available and not too badly priced, I might say. I think younger generation, they're much more aware, and as we are, as business owners, we are more aware of the potential risks around not dealing with your welding fume and your entire environment. And along with our new building, we want to create a much cleaner environment. So I guess the opposite to risk, it's a part of our employee package that, we'll have a cleaner workshop than we do now and a cleaner environment to operate in. The industry is waking up to, the need to change, and it's good to see our local suppliers getting behind that. So we chose a dual suction system, and we felt that, for the price comparison, and it actually suited us, that we'd have two machines set up basically side by side, so it just made sense to spend a little more and but to get basically twice the with the extraction systems. I think the eye opener is when you open the tray after not a very long time and you see the amount of quite visible particulate that's in the tray, and knowing that normally that would be, most of that's probably going into the atmosphere. I think the feedback has been positive for every aspect of the gear. At the end of the day, there's a moral obligation as well, just to be doing the right thing. And I think it's, health and safety. Today I think most people agree that, it is important, and doing the minimum, which WorkSafe, the WorkSafe, they just require you to do the minimum really. And, I think as a business owner, we've got to ask ourselves, is the minimum good enough? And if we want to set a standard, if we want to have good, healthy employees, and if we want to attract the right kind of employee as well, I think today and going forward, the minimum probably doesn't cut it anymore.
I'm Wayne Martin. I'm the welding supervisor here at Trinder, so I look after all the welding qualifications and all the compliance work around especially the structural steel side of it. The company put me through a weld supervisor's course, I think 3 years ago, and so just because I had a pretty good background with the welding, did a lot of welding in Australia and New Zealand and stuff, so sort of a lot of ASME 9 type work, as well as the old 4711, which was back in the day, and then 2809, and now that we've moved to the ISO standard here at Trinder Engineers. To be honest, I haven't had a lot to do with it here at Trinder's, basically because my guys are out in the field a lot. We do big beams, so it's pretty hard to move an apparatus around like that. And so but I have had a look at the one down in manufacturing. I've had a bit of quick rundown on it, just out of curiosity, really. And I was sort of blown away by the amount of particulate and stuff that coming out of that little drawer just after one day. I was like, I've been a boilermaker since 1985. I started my apprenticeship, and I've got pretty bad lungs, so I'm a pretty good advert for using some of this gear that they're using, because I think you end up with crappy lungs like I've got. So, so it's, I wish it was around back in my day. I definitely would have been using it.
My name's Damien, been at Trinder's nearly 5 years now. I'm a senior tradesman in the manufacturing department, focusing on welding, horticultural sprayers, trailers, any odd jobs that come in. So recently we've gone to a new torch that has a little vacuum system on it. Sucks up all the welding gas. It has made a big improvement throughout the workshop. Normally you sort of look over behind you, it's all hazy. Now it's pretty clear and a lot less fumes in the air. First initial reaction was it was pretty good. We normally use airflow welding helmets with a suction on the back. I went to an old helmet just to sort of see with no respiration and didn't have any fumes in my face. It was very nice and good. Airflow and the vacuum cleaner torch would make it, you would never even notice that the fumes were there. Even just your old normal style black flip down ones, I've used them a couple of times and you don't have any fumes in your face. Fumes are gone by the time it gets 6 inches off the table. Surprising how much it picks up when you empty the tray. Knowing that you've been breathing that in for the last however many years you've been working, like, it's a considerable difference. Even just for your workmates in general, they're not breathing in your gases or your fumes from you welding. The torch itself, it's no different to an ordinary torch. You look at it, you'd think it's heavy and big and bulky, but it's just as easy and flexible as a normal torch. We've got an apprentice who's been using it full time for the last couple of months and he's very happy with it. He has no knowledge of welding, so he hasn't actually experienced all the fumes, but for him it's just normal, it's fine, it's good. My wife thinks it's a great idea. It could make life expectancy a bit longer. You don't come home, you can breathe clearer, you feel fresher. When we first looked at it, the hose is quite thicker. We thought it might be a bit of a struggle, but heavier, harder on your wrist, just sort of flexible. But no, it's actually no different to a normal welding torch. Tight spaces, you've sort of got to back the vacuum right off because it is sucking everything out, including your gas. But as we just back it off or just turn it off for that particular narrow point. I didn't find that considerably different, but you can tell by watching it. When you're welding yourself, you don't know any difference because you can't see the fumes. But when you watch someone else do it, you can see a little adjustment. More fumes as you open it up, more fumes will sort of go past or vice versa, suck them up.